joy of God. It could almost be like a commercial. Are you in joy? Are you accepting happiness? Are you at peace? Are you accepting peace? And then the announcer would sell you peace. But in the truth of love, peace is what you are. Truth is what you are. Love is what you are. Joy is what you are. But making the connection seems to be like swimming the English Channel. It doesn't cross many minds that it would be beneficial to swim the English Channel. And it doesn't seem to cross many minds that it would be beneficial to accept only peace and joy and love as reality. How many days does a beloved walk through forgetting that peace and joy and love are your natural state? If you are not accepting joy, peace, and love, you're not in reality. You are in the past. And just to ask the simple question within, is that where you want to be? Is that what this journey has been for? To stay in the past? It's easier many times to stay in the past because it's familiar, and it, in that familiarity, feels comfortable, feels normal. But look at the insanity of what is normal. Every beloved has prayed to step out of the past, to step out of the belief that it's real and that it's what you are. Shame and guilt, regrets, laments, fears, all of it running, and yet peace and joy and love are not necessarily even considered. That place is the call from the divine. That you would open to even the pain of not being able to stand it any longer, of avoiding peace. That you would want peace, and you would want to be squeezed into praying for peace, praying for reality. You are joy, you are peace, you are love. And yet, it's treated many times as if you would be swimming the English Channel. An effort, not ready, avoid it. That is the insanity that holds the illusion together. The fear of love. the fear to be love. And yet, love keeps calling and keeps giving you the opportunities to remember, to make that leap of faith, to use the teachings that have been so well worn in your awareness of their truth, and yet not used to their full potential. Everyone that is spiritually seeking usually has the same statement, which is, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to come back again and struggle and fight and be in such fear. I don't want to do that. And no one has to do that. But it's pulling the brass ring. It's the willingness to pull the brass ring and really accept, this is what I want to live. This is my way home. This is the kindness that I can give to myself. This is the blessing that I can provide to my journey, to accept and live as peace and love and joy. It's not a mysterious, difficult, complicated journey. It's the choice. Am I believing in fear with honesty? Or am I believing in love and peace? Honestly, what am I choosing? There's no one keeping score. There's no divine element that keeps score and holds you accountable as if you're going to be demoted. But without the truth of love, the door of love can't open. And nothing that you made up can come with you. It would be like, again with the water, it would be like taking poison and pouring it into the clear water of a lake. You can't bring the poison with you into the light. Calling it poison isn't because it's evil. It just has no value and no truth of love within it. And just as on this earth plane, fear and pain and hatred cannot dance with love. Within you is the decision. Within you is the decider. You have so much power to transform. You have so much power to serve. You have so much power to heal all of humanity through that choice. It isn't personal. It isn't for you as a personal identity. It is to heal the idea of the personal, because it is the personal that holds everything that the ego has made. The personal dances with greed. The personal dances with victimhood. The personal dances with fear. The personal dances with vengeance. And as these elements are recognized, there's no question that they are not what you want to live. No one would want to live as greed, as hatred, as jealousy, as victimhood. No one would choose that, and yet it's chosen. It's chosen as if you go to sleep and there's no recognition that these elements that have been so painful are being chosen. And yet, that's all that we have, is choice within the world. That's all that allows the healing to manifest. Choice. If you took a story and you built it on someone's addiction, and you built it in the sense that you would be looking at someone who was a heroin addict or an alcoholic or addicted to gambling or whatever it is, but it's an addiction. And everyone observing that addiction would most likely say, you have a choice. And kind of shake your head at them not choosing something that would benefit them so greatly as first becoming sober. And there doesn't seem to be any sense to not choosing sobriety when it would give you such a more beautiful existence, even in the other elements of the ego. It would be a starting point of remembering love. And that same shaking of the head is what can help. If you are shaking your own head at your own reflection and saying, come on, come on. Why not take the leap? Why not live it? When all of these situations and opportunities and relationships show up for that very purpose. They show up to give everyone the opportunity to choose. I could see peace instead of this. In that declaration, it actually becomes such a prayer. I could see peace instead of this, that it can actually open the door even before you finish declaring. I could see peace instead of this says, I'm on board. I want this. And I'm not playing the game anymore. At least one in one day, in one moment, I'm saying yes. And then the next moment, I'll say yes to love again. And I will open to the trust and the faith of the divine teachings that are so generously brought to this earth plane for everyone's healing. The wonder of the manifestation of sacred teachings. How do they come to be? Each one has a different way, but they all have the commonality of they are the gift of life for all creation. And in the truth of sacred teachings, the ones that are in truth, they are all connected. Every teaching reflects another teaching, bringing together all of these paths of unity, of connection, and of symbols of devotion, that each one offers a template of devotion. You can take almost any sacred teaching and it can reflect almost any sacred path. How did they all come to be in that same truth? Because there is only one truth, one love, one peace, one harmony. Every beloved has a resistance that the ego has bought and paid for. The resistance is the fear and wraps itself in an arrogance. And fear and arrogance are a big message, because arrogance says, I know, and fear says, I can't. And that too really serves to freeze those that carry those two elements together. But the freezing is a hoax, because they're put together to close the door and say, no, I don't want to. I don't want to live the teachings. I just want to talk about them. They're to be lived. That is their purpose. They are not a study in the sense of giving you an identity. They are there for the manifestation and the breakthrough of healing love into your heart and mind, and accepting the transformation. And the transformation has to come through devotion. It has to come through desire. It has to come through willingness to look with honesty at what the beliefs are. You can play a game, but it's a worthless game. It's a useless game. It's a silly game, and it has no redeeming value. But once you say yes and you begin to really choose, all of love serves that choosing. All of love guides, all of love shows the way, all of love is insistent, all of love is benevolent, compassionate, kind. and sometimes Zen-like. When there is a beloved whose soul is saying, yes, I want to remember, and does not participate consciously in that prayer, the lessons that come become tough sometimes. They become tough because the Holy Spirit hears the soul, hears the spirit within, hears the prayer. And if you're saying no to your own prayer, Spirit recognizes that what your soul wants is to remember, and will serve that. That's why in the spiritual journey, many times it seems like there's a lot of kicking and screaming over the idea that it's being thrust on you, but it's your prayer. It's your prayer that is being answered. And just like the teaching that says the man asked for help, asked to be saved, and God sent him a boat, and God sent him a car, and God sent him a helicopter, and he chose no, he was waiting for God. That's the arrogance, in case anybody missed it. The one that wants to control it. And that will be answered also, because there is nothing in the universe that you can control. There's certainly nothing in the illusion that can be controlled. But whether you use what is presented to you to its deepest capacity, or you say, no, I want it to look different, Spirit will keep presenting you with the opportunity of deep healing. Those are the healing opportunities. The healing is always an opportunity, except to the ego that says, I want it thus. Let your heart lead the way to truth. Let your heart accept the teaching. Let your heart, and not the mind, say yes. Yes, in every moment. Yes, yes, yes. That everything in this journey is the opportunity of learning. Every situation, every relationship, every moment is the opportunity to remember and to enter the schoolroom of love. Allow yourself that schoolroom. It will not disappoint you in any way. It's open to the power of the divine that is waiting to serve you, but cannot enter when there is no invitation. The divine is not there to rescue. The divine is there to help see what is the lies of illusion and what is the truth of love. Open that door and let yourself be the student of love with the greatest teacher in all the universe, the only teacher in all the universe. You are so loved that the power of the universe serves you only if you can invite that love in, that teaching in. This is one of these hymns, these prayers that speak to this, that call you to be begging, that call you to really step into the wanting and affirming that you are ready, that you want it. When I feel this pain inside and I find nowhere to hide, Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. This sorrow now imprisons me. Somehow I need to be set free. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Heal me of my hurt and fear. Reveal the face of God so near. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. As I move toward the light, defend me from the dark of night. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Thank you for the love you give. In compassion for your Son I live. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, divine Mother, rain your love on me. Open my resistance. Open my no and turn it into a yes. Make me and help me to want nothing else. Find within me the desire. Find within me that element that needs to be woke up so that I can find my devotion, so that I can find my intention and follow it to the end of truth and love. Do you have that place within you that has that passion for what it is that you truly want and what you really came here for? You incarnated to remember, and everything can serve that. Everything. While we are asking for help in transformation, at least when I was asking for help in transformation, I had to also accept that all the while there were these sacred teachings that were saying, you are the life of God. You are everything that God is, you are. Live in that truth, open to that beauty and that perfection, and accept it. I am the light. I am the life. I am the pure and eternal love that brings me back to remembering God. I am here, I am there, I am everywhere where there are beloveds gathered. I am there in the name of love itself. I am the light. I am the torchbearer. I am with the master teacher that is God. I am the Son, I am the Father, I am the Holy Spirit, and I am one with all redemption. I must live as the light of God. Sua vida, seu caminho, eu sou pura eterno amor. Sou a chave da porta estreita que vê-lo vigi, voltou o Senhor. Estou aqui, eu estou lá, eu estou sempre em todo lugar. Onde estiver irmãos unidos em meu nome, eu ali estou. Sou a luz, sou o teu cheiro, eu sou o mestre ensinador. Sou filho, sou pai, sou Espírito Santo, e sou vosso Redentor. Can you be the light? Can you be the torchbearer? Can you be the expression of God's love here on this earth plane? That is the question that you can ask within, and the yes is waiting to be brought into the light itself. The willingness to accept your place in the sun of love itself. Laughter. What is laughter? What is laughter? It is God waking up. It is God waking up within. It is the sun poking its sweet head out from behind a cloud that you have been carrying too long, veiling your eyes and heart. It is a light breaking ground for a holy structure that is your real body called truth. It is happiness applauding itself and then taking flight to embrace everyone and everything in this world. Laughter is the pole star held in the sky by our beloved, who eternally says, yes, dear ones, come this way toward me and toward love. Come with your tender mouths moving and your beautiful tongues conducting songs, and with your movements, your magic movements of hands and feet and glands and cells, all dancing in the truth of love. Know that to God's eye, all movement is a wondrous language, and music such exquisite wild music. Oh, what is laughter? What is this precious love and laughter budding in our hearts? It is the glorious sound of a soul waking up. The glorious sound of a soul waking up. That is what laughter is about. Laughter is not about the humor that has been made within the world of telling jokes at the expense of somebody else or knowing something. It's the joy within you that can't hold itself contained. It's the joy, it's the peace, it's the harmony that recognizes the truth of every beloved and is so happy to be able to recognize it. It's the joy and the laughter that combine to include every beloved as the light of God. No exceptions. Who do you think would be an exception? Everybody has a list of those who have had offenses that are seemingly needed to separate them, to cull them from the center of God. But all of those beloveds have to be brought to love through your own heart. That is the way of healing for every beloved. Why is it so essential to extend love, to see the truth of love in every beloved? Why is that so essential in the spiritual journey? It has a very powerful main purpose. And the main purpose is to annihilate arrogance and to annihilate narcissism. Because when you are willing through your heart to extend love to another beloved, your narcissism disappears for a minute, because you have recognized that another beloved, what seems to be another, is actually one with you, and you actually accept them into your heart. You bless them as one with you, one with God. And in that moment, the narcissism of what about me? This is about me. I want to feel good. I want to feel better. I want, disappears. And the generosity, the charity of love expands. And then you find that when you expand into blessing another, holding another as your beloved, as you expand into that, you realize that your heart is expanding, that all of this idea that your heart was shut down can't abide. It can't stay shut down because you're offering love. Now, the caveat to that offering of love is that the ego will try to sneak in there and make it about itself. Look what I did. I was so generous. I knew how to save somebody else. No, it's the quiet, gentle laughter of truth that extends when no one is aware, except that your heart is expanding. Nothing beyond yourself can make you fearful or loving, because nothing is beyond yourself. That's why when you incorporate someone into your heart, when you offer that love and you pull them into your heart, undefended, they become one with you, and still nothing is outside you, because they are one with you, as is every beloved, every creature, every element of life is one with you. And as you accept that oneness, your heart does truly, truly expand, because it has to incorporate and extend to all beloveds. Nothing beyond yourself can make you fearful or loving. There is no situation that can make you either fearful or loving. It is a choice that you make with each situation, with each moment. Can I offer love, or am I going to pretend and be fearful? Every single moment is that opportunity. Why is it so essential to realize that it's not that nothing is outside you? Because the entire ego stance is a projection of your own perception. Projecting all the time, believing that it's something else or someone else that is causing the problem. Let me recognize the problem so that it can be solved. The solving of the problem is always within. It's always held in the mind of separation. It's always in the past. The most incredible, easy clear awareness. You don't need to be a psychic to realize that every single situation shows up as a reflection of what you believe. And when you believe it, you make it so. And if that is realized and accepted, then healing becomes easy because your mirror is right in front of you all the time. You want to know what's in your mind? Look at what you're looking at. Look at the problem that you think you have. Look at the situation and realize that it's your projection that is reflecting back at you, and that you have the opportunity then to transform and give that belief, that ego belief, into the hands of God for transformation, that you want to be seeing with love, that you want to be recognizing the truth of love. That's the easy peasy of healing. You don't have to be clairvoyant. You don't have to be psychic. You don't have to be knowing everything that you've ever thought. It'll show itself. It does all the time. Everything that you think is being reflected to you in the outside. It makes everything so easy, except that the ego is insulted. I don't want to see a reflection of what I think or what I think I know. I want it to be a problem from the outside that I can solve. But it isn't a problem outside. It's a problem of belief within. But that's actually what makes the healing so much easier. If you have a reaction to someone who is likes to brag, or likes to laud on their accomplishments, and you get really irritated while that beloved is talking about their success and everything else, you can be 100% sure that you believe that success is a threat, or that you are the one who wants to be the most successful. Whatever it is, it's your belief. And that beloved is just reflecting it. And then you can thank them. Thank you for showing me what's in my way. Thank you. Every single time, and I walked that 100, 1,000 times, it was always learning to be grateful for the opportunity of seeing what I believed. I remember when I was working in a regular job, anybody that was successful in that job, I would cringe. I would look to see if I could find their weaknesses and their mistakes. So in the spiritual journey, of course, that was the schoolroom, and that's what I got to look at as one of the many, many elements that I got to see through what I believed about others. It was within, when I would be shown that, I would be spiritually embarrassed. I wouldn't want that to be true. I had spent all this life wanting it to be everybody else so that I could stay innocent. If I was jealous, if I was vindictive, if I was suspicious, whatever it was, that's what I believed was real. And that's what I was there to heal. Did anybody else in that company do the same thing? No. No, it was a one-man, one-woman show of using every day to be the schoolroom of learning with every reaction. It could be somebody on the phone. It didn't have to be somebody in person. It could be anybody on the phone. I could be talking to an order desk, and I would be irritated with how long something took. There was my healing. There was my opportunity of seeing my beliefs again and again and again and again. But in seeing the beliefs, the most beautiful thing occurs because you have the opportunity of healing. These beliefs have been running the show and been the tyrant of separation. And now they were being presented, and I could heal because there was evidence that I couldn't deny, that I was not ungreedy, I was not unjealous, I was not unspiteful, if those are words. I was spiteful, I was greedy, I was jealous, and thousands more of identity. But it was available for healing. I could surrender those beliefs, forgive myself for having believed that these beliefs were valid against anybody or anything. And I could be cleansed and no longer want that element to be in charge. How does greed work? Greed works with fear. Greed works with the belief that in the past you were unfairly treated by not getting, that everybody else had more than you did, more than I did. So the greed had its own life within my life. It looked for ways of making up for the past. It was an urgency that would run. And greed was just one of them. And yet they all worked together to stay in separation. What do you see yourself as? How do you see yourself? Do you question how you see yourself? Do you see yourself as helpless? Do you see yourself as greedy? Do you see yourself as victorious? Do you see yourself as put upon? How do you see yourself? That's another spiritual question that can help bring those elements out of their hiding place so that they can be recognized for what they are. Don't be afraid of seeing these elements, whatever they are. Everybody carries them, and everybody has used them because the ego is fear. The ego is hatred. That is its basic premise, fear and hatred. How could you really have anything else when you believe in the past? It's all bringing it to the light so that it can be released, because it never was anything. It has no reality. It has no truth. The shame and the guilt, can you sit and say, yeah, I believed in greed. I believed in jealousy. I believed in wanting others to be less so that I could be more. That's not an easy one to identify. I want you to be less so I can be more. I want to see your mistakes. In my way, it was a celebration when others made mistakes, took me off the hook. I was like moving up a notch in my own mind because somebody else had made a mistake. No love there, no offering of anything, just more greed. The greed of the ego to want to have others make mistakes. Somebody get a car, there would be this rumbling over, why didn't I get a new car? Why did they get a new car? And then smiling while I'm looking at the car. Go, God, nice car. You're so lucky. But underneath it, jealousy. That honesty is essential. It's essential to recognize that the honesty is about reality. To be honest about what you are believing and want to see what it is that's running is to no longer be afraid of protecting a self-image. And the ego's element is about wanting to protect a self-image. A self-image that has been protected because of the fear that you are not good enough, that you are not worthy of God's love. So the game goes on within in the private thoughts and the private ideas. But there's fear that's running it. When beloveds are addicted, and the ego is all addiction, it is just addiction, period, all of it. When a beloved is addicted within the world of addiction, and they begin a program that is a spiritual program of putting their lives into the hands of God and recognizing that they need help. What is the purpose of those beloveds going to meetings and standing up and saying, my name is, and I am an alcoholic? What is the purpose of that? To embarrass, to demean, to call out, to blackmail? No, it's to break the spell of the ego in the moment and bring each beloved into a place of humility that can say, this is what I am wrestling with, this is what is in my way, and this is why I am here. And I can't let the ego play the game of, I'm good, I don't have to proclaim that I'm an alcoholic anymore. I got it, I figured it out, I'm in charge now. No, the wisdom of the program that was ordained with love through spirit was the recognition that the ego will jump right back and grab it and become arrogant and fearful at the same time, again and again and again. And so we are called to stay in honesty in the spiritual journey, the honesty within. To be able to convey to another, I was mistaken. Not I was wrong, not I was bad, but I was mistaken. I thought something that was not of any help. I was mistaken. It brings light to the darkness of the ego that wants to hide in its facade. And the light that it is bringing is honesty. The truth of honesty is that honesty means consistency. So the consistency is what I say, what I think, what I hear, everything aligns with truth. I don't think one thing and say another. I don't try to have one idea for one thing and another idea for another. I am honest and consistent with everything. That is the intention of honesty. Why is it important? Because the ego is by its very nature completely deceptive. It's a liar. It lies, it makes up identities, it makes up stories, it makes up regrets, it makes up fears, it makes up hatred, it makes up enemies, and it makes up special relationships where this one is special and I'm going to hold this one for just for me and expect them to see me. And if they don't see me in truth, then I resent them and I feel betrayed, but that's a special relationship. The holy relationship is on honesty and not looking for anyone to give anything because you already have and are everything. That nothing is missing. You may not recognize that you have everything, that you are everything, but you accept it because it is God's word that you are everything, that you have everything, everything of love. Honesty. Charity goes with honesty. The charity is, I have to give. I have to offer love. I am here to humble myself to every beloved and to offer love, to see them as the light of God. They can't see it, doesn't matter. I have to see it for them and with them. I must love. And in the honesty, it is the recognition that God is my life. God is all that I can be. I am the creation of the divine, not singularly, not as an I that is separate, but as the I am, one with everything and everyone. And I must live that truth in honesty. Is it fearful to step into a deeper truth and that deeper honesty? Well, the ego would, yeah, please be fearful. That's the ego's happy when you're the most fearful. When you attach to fear as a caveat to stay stuck, the ego is delighted. But it's, for lack of a better term, bullshit. It is the lie of the ego to use fear. It's a using of fear to not live your truth, to not live the life of the divine. Fear is the great rebellion. Fear says, I am more powerful than any element of God. You will listen to me because I have run your life for centuries. And you have come to fear me, and you have come to revere me. And all the while, you're being called to the altar of God to let go, to surrender, and to forgive all of the dishonest lies that the ego has made. It's not a place of exaltation. It's not a place of making yourself important. There's no importance in remembering the truth of love. Its only importance is that it's the truth. But it doesn't make anyone important. It doesn't exalt anyone. It just opens the door. Love offers you everything. And every teaching says the same teachings, basically. Love is all that is real. Are you offering love, or are you offering fear? You're offering love, you're offering hate. The hate, the fear can be anything again. It can be jealousy, it can be greed, it can be any kind of manipulation, it can be a game that's played. It can be lies of all kinds. It can be manipulations. It doesn't matter. None of it is real, and none of it is a sin. It just keeps you from recognizing love. It keeps you bereft of love. And you have the golden ticket. You have the golden ticket. You have the ticket that fits in the slot that says, I want to remember. You have that. I want to remember. I want to do everything I possibly can to remember and to be free and to serve and to help all those that walked a little bit behind me, that came into this identity as a role that I gave them. I want to set them all free. I don't want to hold anybody in a role anymore that I made for the purpose of separation. I want to remember love. I want to come home. Mother, rain your love on me. What happens when the Divine Mother rains her love on you? It opens your awareness that that's what you want and that you have choice. And that you will stand in truth rather than join in the lie. We've all had habits that we cherished in some way. The habits of control, the habits of how we did things, do things, think of things, and it's all being given to God in the light of love. Because none of it is reality. And yet you are reality in the truth of love. You are the complete reality of God. Embrace it, invite it, be unabashedly yearning. The fool for love. I haven't used that term in quite a long time. To be the fool for love. To be willing to seem foolish. Oh, yeah. To seem foolish is to be able to say to another beloved, I was mistaken. I want to begin again because I forgot to love. If that makes you foolish, you're buying the ego's defense, because there's nothing foolish in opening your heart and being honest. I want to remember love. There was a ritual that I attended several times. It was once a year, and it was kneeling before another who was not a leader but was a learner. And you knelt before that learner and you previewed your life of that year before kneeling, so that you could be honestly, I present myself without the need for correction. I have corrected, and I have seen, and I have come through, and I am in need of no more correction for this year. And the other one was, I have still need for correction for this year and for the coming year. There was no one that ever came and knelt and said, I don't need any correction. But it made a distinctive awareness come to me that every day was a day of learning. And what a glorious privilege, what a glorious gift it was to be learning every day. I was a terrible, terrible student growing up. Terrible student. Couldn't sit still, couldn't stand anything, was feared all the time. Was just hated it. But the spiritual journey was one of soaking in, devouring spiritual truth, and the wanting to manifest it even when I didn't know how. Find that desire for learning spiritual reality. It's what the spiritual journey is all about. And it is moment to moment filled with healing potential. It's right there, always right there. As God is laughing, it is the light waking up within you. It's only laughter. It's only joy. It's only harmony and peace. That's all that's being offered. And it's only a game that says, no, don't want it. But everyone will remember, it is guaranteed. And time means nothing. So if you want to wait for a couple more lifetimes, it's okay. No bother. But if you really feel your longing, let it burst through and be in charge. Let it lead you in every way possible. And hear God's laughter.